So in this video, I'm going to show you some of the accessories I have in my office. I made a very cute pen holder, multi-tool holder really, covered in fabric, as well as a bulletin board. And then what I wanted to do was add a perpetual monthly calendar and a perpetual annual calendar that I could kind of put together, all these components, to have a command center in my office. And so I'm going to show you what I did with the Cricut Maker to make these calendars. And this video is specifically about the monthly perpetual calendar. When I click on this big green button here, it allows me to create a new project. So we'll click on the green button, and then we're on a blank canvas. Now I'm going to want to upload my file to get this into the canvas. So I'm going to click on this button here, Upload. And if I come in here, it says you can cut your images for free, basic and vector images. And that's what I want. I need to go get my image from my computer. So I'm going to upload. And this big screen will open and allow you to browse your computer. And you'll go in and get to your file. So I'm going in and clicking on my file. And my monthly file came up. Now if I'd like to, I can go into these tags, and this is going to be great when I have tons of files loaded up, because I can leave them in Design Space, and then when I'm looking for something, oh, where was that calendar? I can just go in here and type in calendar, and that'll make it more searchable within my own files. And I might want to put that it's a monthly. I might put it's perpetual. I can put whatever I want. It is in the name, but I still have it here. Click on Save, and that'll save that image into my recently uploaded images. Now, to get that onto my canvas, I want to just click once to highlight that, and you see this little green line around the edge, and then Insert. Now that I've inserted my image, I just have a couple of quick things to do here. First, I want to rotate the image because it's 11 by 14, and our mats are not 14 inches wide, but if you're on the large mat, it'll be 24 inches long, so that 14 inches is going to work just fine. So I'm going to just come to rotate here, and you can either go up and down with the arrows, etc., but I know that I need to just move it by 90 degrees. So I just type in 90 and hit enter, and that shifted for me. And then you can see that you've got the space. Now if you want to see your space and make it smaller, you can click on Control and the minus sign, and that'll let you resize your screen. But unfortunately, it resizes all of your tags too. So just know that that gets a little harder to read. Now that I've got that done, I'm just going to bring this up. I want to make sure that I'm between 1 and up to 12. I don't want it spilling over. And then I already know that it's going to be fine on the length because I've got 24 inches to work with. And that's at about 14.5 by leaving it, just slightly beyond the corner. I don't know why, but I never bring anything right up into this corner. So what I need to look at though is everything is set to cut. Well, I don't want to cut everything. I actually would like all of these squares and all of the letters here to just be written. So anything with that little white dot here, we're going to click on that pair of scissors and we're going to tell it to write. And we can tell it a color if we want. So let's just tell it silver, and that way we can see it. Then I also need to tell the machine, the Design Space, that these two actually need to stay together. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this line here that says Perpetual Monthly Calendar. Click on that, and you'll see how it lit everything up in gray. Come down here and click on Attach. I don't know if you followed my mouse, but it came all the way down right here to Attach. You attach that, and then you just go up here and click on Make It. Now what you should come up with when you get over here to make it is one mat. If you have two mats, then you're not attached, and your project is set to write on one mat and then cut on the other, and that's not what you're looking for. This is all just one big piece, and it's going to write out all these designs and then cut a nice outline for you to fit into that frame. So if you're getting more than one mat, we've got a problem. Also, you can see right here it says draw and cut. So the other thing you want to look at is it says at least one of your images is larger than 11.5 in height or width. Please click OK to continue, and you're just verifying that you have the larger mat, but they want to make sure you see that. So we've done that, everything's set, and now we just go down here and click on continue. Once we click on continue, the machine's going to take a minute to set up. Okay, now it's going to ask me to set my material. Well, this is fabric. So, and it's a cotton fabric, so we just click on cotton. And then I need to load my tools and my mat. I then run all the commands from the machine. Okay, here we are at the machine. So I have to do a couple things here before I can just let that program roll and cut out our project. I need to first put the rotary blade in the machine, and I keep mine in the case. So let's pop that open. This rotary blade has a housing over it. Leave that intact. It's there for your protection because the gears could catch something and catch hair or whatever in the machine, and that just protects it from catching anything in there. So you're going to just click this open, take out your lightweight blade. That's what I had in there. I'm just going to stick that right here in that shallow cup. That's a great storage, temporary storage. And you just, flat section goes towards the back. Set that right in. And then you're going to click this. Now I just hold this when I'm clicking this shut because it's a nice firm click. And I don't want it moving around. Also, I was using another, had another project and I was using a scoring blade, but I actually need to put a pen in here. So take out your scoring blade, store it right there in your cup. And then I'm going to use this bronze pen. And this is a 1.0 medium tip. So take the lid off of it, pop it right on top. Whenever I put a pen in, I hold this and I put the pen down and I just click it in. You'll feel it click. Close that. These are easier to open and close on this side. Then I've put my fabric on the mat. That beautiful, very light toned fabric. It's coming over just a little bit on the side here, but this is kind of way down at the bottom. I'm not going to worry about that. I don't know if you can see it right here. I really like to have the fabric on the mat and not hanging off, but this is at the low end, so I think I'm just not going to worry about it and leave it alone, but I'm just going to load that mat. I'm going to press this button to load. And it is a long mat, and I've got a filming screen up, so it might bump my screen. We'll see what happens. But first we'll load the mat. Not bad. I will say I noticed a little bit of wrinkling in here, and I don't want to have a problem. You don't want to get something caught when you're trying to cut it, so I'm just smoothing that down a little bit. But if you're concerned at all, then just release it, unload it again, and press everything nicely and load it back down. And when you're ready, you're going to click on the go button, and then I'm just going to speed this up because this one will take a little time to write and then it'll take some time to cut it, but we'll get it started here. Okay, I am skipping forward here just so you can see the finished project, and I'll put this in the frame as soon as I'm done showing it to you. But we went ahead and wrote out that pattern, and then it cut those lines, nice clean cuts, and you can see it's not backed at all. It's just fabric, very light fabric. And I've got some poster board here that was 11 by 14. That's just in there to I liked the white behind this because I didn't want any of this frame board to show through. But I don't know if you can see it. Let me bring it into that camera good and move it around a little and see if you can tell there's just some really pretty shimmery glimmer on there. And what I decided was the pen was pretty, but I wanted some sparkle. Well, I couldn't find any pen that would write this with a sparkly color, a little bit of glimmer or glitz or glitter. So I actually used a fabric pen, the Decor Just Glitter Premium. Let's bring that up here so you can see it. And I just went ahead and wrote over all of my lines with this very carefully, and I just really like the finish. Now you could do this in any color. You can do it on any fabric, but I do believe because you're going to want to write on top of the glass that you want to have, in my opinion, a lighter background, because I have not seen expo writers that work with chalk colors, for example, so you couldn't have a black background with white on it. Now they may exist and you might prove me wrong, and that would be just fine. So hopefully they're out there, but let me just pop this in the frame and show you the finished product here. I think I'll lay that fabric down by itself because I'm probably just going to wrinkle it if I don't. So put that fabric into the frame, put your paper backer in there if you're doing it like me. Of course you can frame it any way you want. Slide that in. I just picked up these frames at the local craft store. I think it was Michael's. They're just a plain white frame. Again, for my command center, I was going for something very simplistic, very light in tone and color. And now, sorry about the glare there, but now you can see I've got my calendar. I can go ahead and grab any expo writer, any chalkboard, or I'm sorry, not chalkboard, dry erase marker. And I like dry erase on glass because it tends to hold up better. I don't know if you've noticed that, but sometimes the whiteboards get stained. Glass never gets stained. So you've got your spot here. We can write the month. Not for much longer, but we are still in October. We can fill in the days. So I know the first was a Sunday. These little dots are for your days. And then I will put this on the wall, and my husband and I can put anything going on in our month that we need to communicate with each other on up on our calendar. We can see it. And we can, I know we had a birthday on this date, on the 18th, for a family member. So happy birthday, Kathy. Of course, I'm a little behind with October. I probably should be doing November because I'm filming this at the end of October. But you get the idea. You can just put this on the wall. Your family members can see what's going on for the month. And then I also have created an annual calendar, and I can do the exact same thing over the year. The annual calendar is just a larger block, 12 large blocks, and I can put in, you know, who's hosting Christmas dinner that year, or any camping trips that we have coming up, anything, any vacations, etc., or any special events through the year. And as I get to the month, then I can put the details in. So we can look at the detailed month and the generals on the annual. So it's a really cool project. It's something that's going to be lifetime reusable, and I'm excited about being able to do this on my Cricut.